The room went quiet in a way no one expected. 1 second, laughter echoed across the training bay. The next, the sound of a body hitting the steel floor rang out like a gunshot. The new girl lay motionless, her helmet rolling away, her breath shallow, her eyes shut tight. And in that terrifying silence, one man slowly opened his eyes. The Navy SEAL hadn't planned to wake up. He hadn't planned to move. But the moment he saw her on the ground, something inside him snapped awake, and what happened in the next few seconds would change the entire unit forever. Earlier that morning, the base was alive with routine. Boots hit concrete in perfect rhythm. Instructors barked commands, and trainees moved like pieces on a chessboard. This was one of the toughest SEAL training facilities in the country. Where excuses didn't survive, and only discipline earned respect. That's where Petty Officer Second Class Emma Carter arrived. She was new, quiet, focused, not loud, not flashy. The kind of person who listened more than she spoke. She carried herself with calm confidence, but her eyes gave away the truth. She knew she was being watched, measured, judged. Not because she was inexperienced, but because she was different. Some of the trainees whispered. Others stared. A few smirked. They'd seen new girls before. Most didn't last. The unspoken assumption followed her like a shadow: she doesn't belong here. Emma felt it. Every look. Every pause in conversation when she walked by. Still, she kept her head up. She had trained years for this moment. She wasn't there to prove anything to them. She was there to prove something to herself. Across the room, Chief Daniel Reeves leaned against a crate, eyes half closed, appearing almost asleep. To the untrained eye, he looked like a veteran finally catching a break. To those who knew him, it was something else entirely. Reeves never truly slept. He observed. He listened. He waited. Years in combat had taught him that danger didn't announce itself. It crept in quietly. Training intensified as the day went on. Obstacle courses, hand-to-hand drills, stress tests designed to break the mind before the body. Emma struggled at times, but she never quit. Every time she fell, she got back up. Bruised, exhausted, but unbroken. That only seemed to annoy a few of the others more. During a close combat drill, tensions finally boiled over. What was supposed to be controlled sparring turned aggressive. Too aggressive. A strike became a strike. A strike became chaos. Emma raised her guard, trying to de-escalate, but someone didn't stop. The blow came fast, hard, unnecessary. She dropped instantly. Silence swallowed the room, and that's when Chief Reeves opened his eyes. He didn't shout. He didn't run. He stood. And the air itself seemed to change. The men who had been laughing moments before suddenly felt something they hadn't trained for. Fear, not fear of punishment. Fear of having crossed a line they couldn't uncross. Reeves walked forward, calm and deliberate. Every step echoed. He knelt beside Emma, checked her pulse, then looked up. His voice was low, controlled, deadly calm. "Training stops," he said. Now, no one argued, because everyone knew what came next wouldn't be part of any drill. And as medics rushed in, Reeves' eyes locked onto the ones responsible. The fight wasn't over. It had just begun. By the time Emma opened her eyes, the fight was already over. Not because fists had been thrown, but because something far more powerful had happened. She woke up in the infirmary, head pounding, vision blurry. The first thing she saw was Chief Reeves standing nearby, arms crossed, watching quietly like a sentry guarding the gate. "You're safe," he said calmly. "And you're not alone." Outside those walls, the unit was being reshaped. Reeves didn't believe in humiliation. He believed in accountability. The trainees responsible stood in formation, faces pale, shoulders tense. They expected yelling, punishment, maybe even removal from the program. Instead, Reeves spoke softly. "You think strength is about overpowering someone weaker," he said. "You think this uniform gives you permission to forget honor." He paused. "That thinking ends today." He reminded them why the CLs existed, not to dominate each other, but to protect, to operate as one, to trust the person beside them with their life. He spoke of real battlefields, where ego gets people killed and unity saves lives. Then came the consequence. Immediate removal from advanced training, not out of anger, but because they had failed the most basic test of all, character. Emma returned days later, still bruised, still sore, but she walked back into that training bay on her own 2 feet. This time, no one laughed. This time they stood straighter. She trained harder than ever, not to prove she belonged, but because she always had. The unit changed around her. Respect replaced whispers. Support replaced silence. And Chief Reeves, He went back to leaning against crates, eyes half closed, watching, protecting, teaching without shouting. On graduation day, Emma stood in formation, shoulders back, eyes forward. She had earned every inch of that moment. Reeves met her gaze and gave the smallest nod. A silent message. This is what strength really looks like. Real warriors don't tear others down. They lift the team up. They protect the vulnerable. They stand for honor, especially when no one is watching. Because in the end, the strongest force isn't violence. It's unity.